Hey, my name is Levi West, and I went to Japan. My favorite part of Japan was that our visit to Hanamaki happens to coincide with a festival. I actually got to participate in carrying one of the mikoshi, the portable shrines. I spent a couple of days hoisting a big wooden shrine up a hill with a bunch of Japanese middle schoolers. There's a bit of a height discrepancy between the average American male and the average Japanese male. So coupled with the fact that I was with males a good 4 years younger than me, I was kind of squatting the entire 2 hours with most of the force bearing down on me. I had fun nonetheless. It's hard to think of something I really remember disliking, but interacting with their train system made my stomach turn. It's a very efficient system. Whenever a train comes, it's usually filled to capacity. Trains are pretty bumpy rides usually, but during these rush hours you really don't even have to hang on to the handrails just because of how packed in you are with other people. So when I say this system is efficient, I mean it is efficient and that those doors are open for a very short amount of time. There was a moment our first time on a packed train coming back from Akihabara, and Joe was behind me, which Joe, of course, was raised in the fires of Japan. So our train was coming to a stop at our station, and I feel him put his hands on my back, and the doors open, and as soon as you hear the sound of them sliding open, I'm immediately just propelled forward through this mass of people ahead of me. And we get off the train fine, so, I guess that worked out. I actually hadn't been on a plane before this trip, so technically my first flight was Little Rock to Dallas, but following that up was immediately the Dallas to Tokyo flight, which is about 15 hours. It's a little rough. A lot of it dragged on because of how excited I was, but I don't remember the flight over there being that bad, honestly. I do have something interesting to say about the flight back, though. There was this particular brand of coffee that I had been wanting to try. It's called Boss Coffee. There was a long line of TV spots done for it, starring Tommy Lee Jones of Men in Black fame. Every time I managed to find a vending machine with these coffees in them, it was pretty late or a moment where I really needed some water to rehydrate myself. So the moment was really never good for some good old canned coffee. So we get to the Osaka airport, going to Tokyo, and I think my time's running out. This is my last chance to try Boss Coffee. So there are of course a wide variety of flavors available, so I have to try several of them out. So I start off with black, which is pretty good, and then move on to a Rainbow Mountain Blend, because how couldn't you drink a Rainbow Mountain Blend while you're there? So I end up knocking back 3 Boss Coffees in about 20 minutes, at which point Mama G says to me, "Levi, I really think you should stop." And so I say to her, "Yeah, you're right," and stop. So this was going from Osaka to Tokyo, so I had a flight then, which was like an hour long, and by the end of it, I wasn't feeling too great. So I had a pretty intense coffee high on the plane coming over there. But what happened was, when I was getting on our plane from Tokyo to Dallas, the combined crash of 3 simultaneous coffee highs hit me all at once. About 5 minutes into our flight, so I fall asleep, and when I wake up, we are 3 hours from Dallas. So incidentally, we had to go to school the next day, and everyone else was complaining about jet lag, but I felt great.